Continue the salute to our veterans this afternoon, highlighting one who nearly paid the ultimate sacrifice serving his country. Now, injuries sustained during combat left him fighting for not only his life, but also for a life filled with joy despite loss, something he couldn't and wouldn't do alone. For Sergeant First Class Ryan Davis, this was the dream.
I think I was born with a little bit of gratitude for my country and the men that had served coming before me. The lifestyle in general of a warrior has always been kind of a calling of mine.
But when he first went to join the Army back in 2012, it seemed more like a nightmare to his wife, Asia.
I was not on board. I said no. And I sent him a video of like this little girl crying because her dad was gone.
But after some reflection,
The next day I went up to him, I was like, you need to join. You need to do it.
And just like that, Ryan's military career began.
Then when I got in, I started to really chase being the guy and being in the fight.
Ryan became an Army Ranger, and 7 years later, he found himself deployed in Afghanistan, where his life would be changed forever.
We were doing pretty routine things. One 1st Ranger Battalion night out there getting bad guys. Something kind of happened in the midst of a grenade fight, and I was left without both legs and an arm.
Asia's fear come to life.
It was rough. It wasn't a good phone call at all. It was literally just a shock. You don't expect that. You know, a lot of times when he does leave, you expect more of a knock on the door than you do a phone call saying that you can't talk to your husband and you don't know if he's going to make it. So it wasn't anything that was enjoyable. It was hard.
While Ryan fought for his life, rather than block out the memory of the incident, he found strength from it.
I remember all of it. I think that's one reason it doesn't really haunt me. I thought it was really cool. You know, seeing my buddies do some really amazing things, seeing younger soldiers that I had the opportunity to kind of raise, really standing up to the plate and doing awesome stuff to make sure I could come home.
Although he didn't fear the memory of that night, he did fear how his son, only 6 years old at the time, might react.
I was terrified to see him after I had kind of woken up and like, hey, I don't have legs and I'm missing an arm here. And I was worried Knox was gonna come in and be like, oh my God, like what is going on here? And he comes in the room, he's like, Dad, you don't have any legs. That's awesome! And me and Asia and Knox kind of laughed about it. And I think I was secretly crying, but it was like a joyful cry. So it was he kind of like sparked the resiliency that our family really needed at the moment.
A resilience sparked by his son, but held together by his wife.
Where do you think you would be without her in your life?
Well, now that's something scary to think about right there. That's something I might lock away. Without Asia, there would have been just so much tumultuous unknown that I'd had to work through by myself. She's been tough this whole time, and you need tough if you're going to go through something like this.
There you go.
So now 3 years later, life may look a little different than it did before. But Ryan and Asia weren't letting what happened define who they are.
Life isn't easy as it is, you know, like being limbs and all, life isn't easy. So to see him succeed and to just be happy and to be outgoing and loving and still wanting to do things. I've always said, like, we're not going to stop living just because this happened. And he hasn't, and it may be hard to get down here in this wheelchair, but he still goes out.
Yeah.
We still go to dinner. We went to Turks and Caicos. We're gonna still travel. We're gonna still do things.
Guys, I don't know how many limbs you got to lose to get rid of date night, but it's not 3. So good luck. Good luck figuring out how to get out of date night.
And perhaps their laughter, their clear zest for life itself, is proof enough that their joy isn't based in what happened to them, but rather it's something that they choose to find for themselves every single day.
Great job, Adam. My problems are very real. Every day you wake up to them, so you build yourself strong in character so that when these things come up, you can still be happy. You know, you can still enjoy, you know, the great things that life does have to offer inside of some of the pain that you go through every day. You know, I've always thought of this as a token that, you know, our country asked me to carry, and I will gladly carry it until we're done here, and I'm gonna have a good time doing it.
And he's not carrying it alone. That's what I take from that too, is it's truly the family as well that is there for him, helping him through.
Absolutely. I mean, he is by all means a strong man, a hero, But when you see how he says his son, they gave him the resilience just to have that childlike innocence in that moment, and his wife being there and pushing him to continue. Hey, we're going to live life. We're still going to go. I mean, their joy was infectious.
I think it's also because in the initial, like she said, the initial blow is, oh my gosh, am I going to lose my husband entirely? And then you're having to go through and support them in that time.
Yeah.
But then you realize, obviously, I have this person in my life still. You know, life is so precious, and obviously we're gifted, limbs or not, we're gifted with it. So what a wonderful, wonderful story.
Yeah, they are incredible people. I'm blessed to have got to share their story.
And they found laughter in it.
Oh my gosh, they were laughing the whole time. They're talking about these tragic moments, but they're smiling, and you can just tell, hey, their joy is bigger than what they're going through. Comes from somewhere else, that's for sure. Now,
date night and all.
Date night and all. Yeah, he smiles through the date nights. That's good. Now, what's amazing here, Gary Sinise Foundation, they're in the process of actually building them an accessible house for Ryan and Asia. It's going to be in Richmond Hill. They hope to move in by 2023. I mean, he said being an Army Ranger prepared him for a lot, and he said that includes being a dad, and he's looking forward to cooking breakfast for his son again.
Oh, sure.
Simply doing these things he's missed out on. He said, I just want to get to being more and more helpful around the house, and that's going to be a huge step.
I think we might need to be there when they're building that house. That could be kind of fun.
Yeah, I'm going to be bugging Ryan and Asia. Yeah, I'm going to be bugging them for sure. So honored to share their story, and we got a little more afternoon break to get to today.
A little bit of laughter to bring in everyone's way.
A little more laughter. Yeah, stick around for that.